Hi, lovelies. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to another episode of Talk Truth, presented to you by Women Healing Together. I'm your host, Pops and Francis, and you know I'm glad that you are here. This is a space and place where we deal with all things women, and I help women to achieve the 4 E's. And we're going to put those 4 E's on screen. This is why you should be a part of Women Healing Together, because we help you to embrace self-worth and find inner peace. We will also help you to enjoy happy and healthy relationships, equip yourself with knowledge to make better choices, and we will empower you to empower other women and girls. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very, very excited for today's program. I'm going to ask you to take the opportunity to share the link right now. So take the time to just hit the share button and post this link on all your socials: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, and also send it in text message. We want everybody to be a part of this conversation. What's our topic for today? Wait a minute. I'm not going to tell you just yet. I want to bring on our special guest today. The first person who is joining us is Carleen Francis. She was here for episode 1 and it was amazing. And she's back. Carleen, welcome back to Talk Truth.
Hey, I'm so excited. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. You are welcome. I was telling Carleen before we came on live that she looked like spring chicken because she just looks amazing. And I just want to affirm you, girl. You're looking lovely.
Thank you.
All right. So Carleen is an author. She's a motivational speaker. She's a trained minister as well. So she's multidimensional. She even does social work. So listen, this lady is right for this conversation. All right. The next person who is joining us, he's going to be in the den of the lionesses today. Michael Parks, come on.
Hello. Happy to be here.
So Michael is an entrepreneur. He is also an author and a podcaster. And we've been talking, Michael, you need to start that podcast because it was amazing. Right? So thank you so much for joining. Today's topic is independent woman, blessing or curse? Listen, for those of you who are joining us, if you're ready for this conversation, please put yes in the chat. If you are ready, let us know where you're joining from. Independent women, blessing or curse. We already see persons popping on and commenting. Happy Sunday, Samantha. Nice to see you. Before we even answer the question, like, is it a blessing or a curse? It's good that we have a man and a woman here today so we can really explore this. When you heard the topic, what was the first thing that like popped in your mind when I said, I want you to come and talk about this? Carleen, I see you jumping.
No, I'm excited to talk about independent women because it's not, I don't think it's a curse. I think it's a blessing. The world may have it as a curse, but I believe it's a blessing. And I'll share further why I believe it's a blessing.
Lovely. Thank you. Michael, when you heard that, like the topic for the first time, you're like, Pops and crazy way. She wants to talk about that and invite me. What were your thoughts?
Exactly. At first I was thinking, when I heard the topic, I was saying to myself, well, what do I really think about this? Could this possibly be a blessing or could it be a curse? I think it could be both. It could be a blessing and also a curse.
All right. Fair enough. Let's start the conversation. Carleen, do you think you're an independent woman?
Yes, I am.
Michael, do you want, by the way, ladies, Michael is single, so yes. Michael, would you like an independent woman?
Wait a second. How come you're not telling the gentleman that I'm single? I don't understand that.
No. Eventually, he's gonna come out there. My apologies, gentlemen. Gentlemen, Charlene is also single. Okay, okay. Michael, would you like to
Yes.
marry an independent one?
Certainly. I mean, having an independent woman, I embrace it. I embrace a woman having her own and being independent, because if she's independent, it means that for her to be with me is a choice. It's not like she's dependent on me for anything specific. So I respect her for that. Where
Okay.
my problem lies, though,
Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Don't get too deep. Don't get too deep. Don't get too deep. Thank you for sharing that, sir.
yeah, yeah,
He's ready.
For for those,
yeah.
when you think back to our grandmothers, even if we didn't know them, or we've heard of them, or our great grandmothers, you didn't hear them throwing around the word independent so much. I
Mm.
didn't. That independent, I'm an independent woman, and you want everybody to know that you're independent. It's like in recent years, that has become like a mantra and a movement. Why is it that present day women feel the need that they have to let everybody know that we're independent? What are this? What caused it? Think about it. And for those of the ladies who are in the chat and the men, come on, share us. Where did this thing come from? Why do we have to assert our independence so much? Shamika is already putting in the chat, I love it. Samantha is shouting, LOL. Get practical. Why? Why do we have to assert this independent woman thing?
When you look at it, in 1848, especially here in America, women never had rights, as you mentioned back then, when your grandmother and so on. You never heard of it. They may have been working, but they didn't make it be known. So here in 1848, when you look back in 1848 and what was happening in America, many rights were not there for women. And so women had to literally fight to get basic rights, to be able to work, to be able to have their own independence, to be able to feel as if they're human or they're needed within that time frame. So slavery was a part of it back then within the 1800s. But at the end of the day, women never had any rights. So because of that, they had to form alliances with each other to create a certain synergy that would cause them to burst out in terms of, this is what we're rebelling about. We need rights. We need to ensure that we are taken care of. We need to have our own independence, where we're not dependent on anyone to take care of our children, to take care of what we need. We don't need to
Yeah.
go to a man for a man to take care of us. We need our own independence. So that was what was happening within that time, and they had to fight for those laws to come about. So you might find like a few ladies will still have that same mentality, because they're still fighting, even though they're not
Mm,
fighting as much as before. They're fighting still to even be recognized in boardrooms, to be recognized
mm.
in churches, as they can be ministers, to be recognized in certain environments where they can just be themselves and operate in their full power
But,
and
but
potential.
But Michael, Carlene,
Yeah.
why this movement? Can't you be all of that without asserting yourself like that?
Well,
Carlene, what are your thoughts?
okay. So, as I've shared before, I am an independent woman, and I don't go around talking about I'm an independent woman, because even though I am independent, I love to get an assistant from a man. And I will play down myself so that the man can jump in and help. But the thing is, I think it's a societal thing that is putting the stigma that women, because you're capable of paying your bills and owning your own, then you're looked at as an independent woman, and men supposed to be afraid of you. But it shouldn't be, because
Mm,
being an independent woman is just being an adult. Because if I'm not independent, who's going to take care of me? Who's going to pay my bills? I like to dress up. I like to look good. I like to eat out sometimes. I like to wear fancy clothes. I like a nice car. Who is going to get those things for me if I'm not an independent woman? Am I going to
mm,
sell my body so I can get those things? No, I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to hone in on my skills, and I'm going to better myself so that I can have the money to buy the things that I need. So I think it's not an individual thing. I think it's a society thing talking about independence. And it's like
Love that.
we are at war with each other, like men and women are at war, which
That's
Yeah.
I'm
it.
a single woman and I'm definitely not at war with any man.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. You want a man. You want a good
Yeah.
man too.
Of
Right?
course.
Exactly.
Who don't
Exactly.
want to get your back rub and your feet rub and
Exactly.
somebody
Exactly.
taking you out for dinner and opening your car doors and taking my cars to get the oil
But,
change and
but
washing. Man, I need a man. Please.
So I agree with what you're saying, Cardi,
hold
because
on,
what
hold on a bit. Hold on a bit. Because Carlin said something that I never thought about it that way. An independent woman is an adult woman.
Yes.
Why then are so many men offended when a woman says she's independent? Michael, you use the word submissive. You like to use that word.
yeah.
Let's say, for instance, some men are very afraid, are very concerned about women who are not submissive. Just as though some men are afraid of women who are too independent. What would cause a man to be afraid of an independent woman? Let us understand, because some men don't want it.
Please tell
Yeah.
me. I'd love to hear.
So some men might not want it, and it depends from a Christian perspective. When you look at the creation and how God wanted it, He wanted the man to be the head of the household. He also brought the woman to be the support to the man, but that woman was supposed to support the man's destiny, the man's purpose to which God has given him. But what's happening now? You find that many men don't even know what their purpose is. They don't know what they want to do. So you find out that a lot of ladies come into these relationships and they have to take the role of not fitting in to help that man because the man doesn't know his purpose or what he's here to do. So she might be willing to help him, but he's not able to lead her into the right direction as to this is the purpose, this is where we're going. So
Mm.
I understand where Carlene is coming from. And yes, what you're saying is very nice. And if most women were like that, many men would not have had an issue. Why? Because when some women have money or they're in a certain level of power, that's when their character starts to show. That's when their true identity becomes known. And so they can either overpower you as a man, belittle you as a
But,
man,
but
or belittle you as a man and make you feel as if what you're saying doesn't count, or what you're bringing to the table does not count. So a woman can be submissive, a woman can be independent, but is she submissive? Meaning, is she going to love you the same? Is she going to respect you the same, even if she's earning more money than you? And
And,
that's
mhm.
and
where,
Yes, so chime in.
may I
Chime in.
jump
Chime
in
in.
a little bit, Michael? May I jump in? Because you're saying that, is the woman able to do certain things as long as, even if she's the one bringing in the meat then. But what I'm understanding here, it's not that is the money is the power or the makes the woman think that she's superior to the man. It could be from a background, from a childhood upbringing.
Mhm.
And a lot of times we misconstrue that a woman in power, a woman being overpowering to a man because of what she has, but sometimes it's because of her childhood upbringing. Now let's go back to a woman as a child, where the father is the head of the household and the father plays the role as a father, taking care of things and showing how a man's supposed to operate. Then of course that young woman learns how to take instruction from a man, be submissive to a man, and be able to work with a man. But if that is not happening, if this woman never have it, if this woman never has a father in the household, trust me, my brother, it's
Yeah.
going to be a problem when she meets a partner, because
Mhm.
Yes.
she does
So
not understand her role.
yes.
You
So
know,
She doesn't, but
what
and
we're
that's
getting,
where,
1 minute, Michael, what we're getting here is that we have some role identity.
Yes,
We have
yes,
some issues sometimes, some parent from childhood. I want to
yes.
bring in our online audience because Samantha is saying something important. She says, I don't think we need to broadcast it. It's meaning, oh, we're independent, we're this, we're that. But I believe that those men have less power to mistreat you. And we want to talk about this. Do you believe that women exert their independent women philosophy and ideology so much because of the fear that men will mistreat them?
Going back to childhood, yes. Going back to this little girl where the father never shows up for her, where the father never show her what love was, or guide her into womanhood, showing her how a man's supposed to be in her life.
Yes,
She sees her mother struggling all her life to take care of the family while the father goes out doing whatever, or he's an absentee father, or the father lives at home but he only comes home and sleep.
mm,
When he's home, he's not participating in the family. He's not being present. He doesn't do anything in the house. He doesn't show any roles that he takes care of. And
yes.
so this little girl looking at this man, and she's thinking to herself, well, I have to be better to prove that I am okay. I have to do whatever to gain his attention. And so we grow up into this adult now thinking that if I don't take charge of everything, it's not going to get done. So a lot of these independent
Mm,
women that are carrying on themselves and being superior to men is because of the childhood experience that they have.
lovely. Thank you, Carlene. I see you itching, Michael. I see you
Yeah,
itching.
what Carlene says is very important, but that's where personal development comes in. A woman has to heal herself and prepare herself for meeting that man that she wants. Because sometimes you can come into the relationship with so much baggage, and this man is bringing you love, he's giving you affection, and he's trying to be there for you. But because you don't have, you're not used to it, you're not used to somebody loving you in that way, it becomes like new to you, and you become resentful because you're not used to it. I can
Absolutely.
remember my dating experiences also when I used to have chauffeur services, a door opening for the woman, getting her outfit for the evening, play, getting CDs with music specifically just for that event, and having champagne, everything set out really nice, and she was not used to that level of affection. She wasn't used to it, and so it kind of I was so irritated by it because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to do this and this is just me being me, but then you're seeing it as I'm trying to impress you, with just me being who I am.
Mhm.
So a lot of women have to work on their past hurts, their past traumas, and get help so they can come into a relationship as a whole person, as a whole woman who is able to manage her emotions and be able to understand that this is another level of love if she
Yes,
meets the right person. So so
lovely.
so I understand what you're saying, Karin, but she has to do the work too.
Yes,
Likewise, the man also have to do the work with his baggages. So both people have to do the work to come together to ensure that the relationship is healthy and it's ready to move forward. So
lovely.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. I want to go to Yolanda's comment because Yolanda has a very, very good comment here. She says, yes, we do because we as in assert the independence. So we're getting different opinions. Some of the ladies in the chat are saying, we don't need to. We don't need to assert our independence. We are who we are. And then
yeah,
there are other ladies who are saying, go back to Yolanda, please. Yolanda is saying, yes, we do need to assert our independence because we don't feel loved or we don't feel trusting. So that's why we put on all of it. Put on. We're going to come to that, Yolanda, because I have a powerball question coming up. Let's put the other comment up by Shamika. I think Shamika is next. Oh, Melissa. Melissa said, I sometimes think that when women broadcast their independence, it is a cry for a man to show up in their lives.
Okay.
That's a word right there, Carlene. That's what you were saying.
Yes.
Because many times when I talk to independent women, and I myself, well, I had that mindset as well. It is because there was a cry and there is a need for a strong man, and so
mm,
you have to Let's go to Shamika. Shamika says, I agree with you, Michael. And I think that the only time being independent can be seen as bad shouldn't be abusive. You can be independent and still know your role as a woman. Michael, thank you, Shamika. Michael said something earlier. He said, the issue sometimes is that the women make the men feel bad and they want to overpower the men.
Yes,
And
yes.
but my thing is the woman overpowering the man or is the man weak? Because a man who is confident in himself and knows
Mhm.
what he's about, can a woman really overpower him? Even if he's making less money? Miss you, Carlene. Go ahead, Carlene. Go ahead.
Yes. A lot of times men are not ready for the women, you know. They're not, they're just not ready emotionally. And this causes the woman to step out of her, step up her game. Again, Michael, you mentioned that women need the help, and you stress specifically that women need to get better. Let me just, for a quick moment, I was married back early. I got married at the age of 20. I had no idea what love was because I have lived in an abusive home with my father and family. And here I was jumping into a marriage. I had no idea how to be a woman. First of all, I didn't know myself. And
Mhm.
here I am in a marriage with this man telling me that he loved me. And I said to him, why? Why do you love me?
Yes.
I couldn't understand the concept of love because I didn't know, I didn't get it. So, and many things that I know now, if I knew back then we would have probably had a better relationship. But I was young, I was damaged. And it took years of counseling and coming into myself to recognize, hey, you have been traumatized, and these behaviors are from a trauma that you've experienced. And
Yes.
I've gotten some help. But while I'm working on myself, going to self-help classes, reading books, going to this seminar, working on myself, the men are not ready.
Mm.
So,
They are not,
mhm,
because they don't think that there's anything wrong with them, even though they might be coming from abusive homes. They might be coming from homes where there was never a father figure and the mother is the only one carrying everything. And so they have no idea what men are supposed to do or their roles as a man. And so here I am working on myself, gaining who I am, and I'm strong, I'm working, I'm educated, I'm doing my business, and I'm putting myself together, and I'm stepping out there hoping to find a man that can meet me halfway. But then what am I meeting? They're not ready for what I have to present. And so there is a
Mm.
again. So we
Mm.
both have to work on ourselves. Men need to step up and work on themselves.
yes,
Please, men,
yes.
work on yourself, because it is not that we're too independent or we're talking over you or belittling you. It's because you can't match up to our level.
And that's where it goes.
Ooh. Hold on
That's
there. What a word. What a word. Wait, Michael, because Shamika is saying in the chat, I love this. She's like, word. Powerful, Carlin. It is so true. Because the question we're actually discussing here is, what's the issue? Why are
Yeah,
men, what happened? A lot of them don't think that they have anything that's going awry in their lives. They don't think anything is wrong. They don't think they have trauma. That growing up in a single parent family with your mom, kudos to all the single moms.
mhm,
Great, you're doing absolutely amazing. But men need male
mhm,
figures in their lives. A woman cannot teach a little boy how to be a man.
absolutely.
Just go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Like both parties have to play a role in ensuring that they grow together. But the thing is, a man is not as emotional as a woman, and a man will use that anger, he will use that hurt to put into his work, to work so hard to ensure that his family is secure and even better. But if he doesn't feel that respect to him, that's to him, it's even hurting him more because a man wants respect. And I believe that a woman It's okay for a woman to be strong and everything, but no man like when a woman try to overpower him and try to play the role. A lot of women out there, they have masculine personalities. You don't have that tenderness. That yes, they're out there and they're doing the thing, but you don't have that tenderness. You don't even know to lotion her foot because you lotion the foot and the foot so rough. You wonder like, there's no tenderness, there's no submissiveness, there's nothing where you can say, I feel like, there's this little cushion where I can lay and I can be comfortable, I can feel secure. After going out there facing the world, I come home to peace. But you're coming home to another strong personality as you, an assertive personality as you, and you both know tag and war. If you put something there, she's gonna tell you to take it up and move it, put it over there. She's
So
gonna,
what is wrong with that?
so that doesn't make the relationship healthy because it's two
Michael,
personality.
Well,
Two
well,
personality
Michael, where are you finding
lacking
those
together.
women? Where are you finding those women? Because I'm a part of a sisterhood. There are 7 of us in this group from ages 30 up. We're all single, and every day we're praying for a godly husband. Where are you finding those women that you're talking about? Where?
So this
no,
is
but
based. So this is also
it's the
based
truth.
on
It's
experience
the
of my
truth,
friends too. But
Michael.
but but it's
What?
reality.
Oh,
It
so
is
it's the
reality. You
truth.
have you
You
have
have
so many women out there who they say they want a man. When you get the man, you still want to play the role. You still want to play that strong masculine, like you're giving off masculine energy. And I don't know how
Can you
many men
define
like
what does
that.
that look like?
The
hold,
masculine energy
hold on,
meaning
hold
you
on.
want to be
Let me take back my
you want to
podcast.
be in control.
Michael, are you
You
hearing me? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What? Because
God.
I don't want more saying you go power in this. Listen. I'm going to get some comments in because Yolanda is saying, I have a lot to say. Lord have mercy. And we want you to say it. So let's hear what she has to say. She says, a lot of times, they, meaning men, deal with women that tolerate their mess. And when they find that right woman that speaks how they feel, they don't know how to accept what the person is telling them. They don't know how to accept the truth. And I'm seeing this trend. I agree with you, Yolanda, because you said something, Michael, that the woman, she's out there, she's asserting herself. And when she gets married, what I am hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, is tone yourself down so I can feel like the man. Why
not
should I
not
tone myself down so you can feel like the man? If I'm assertive, if I am strong, then you need to be assertive and strong. That's what I am hearing.
no no
Why
no
are
no
the
no
men
no
bending themselves?
no. And
Talk
that's
to me.
where we go back to this book here. If a godly woman is looking for a godly man, it means that they both have to go with the teachings of the Bible. It goes with God first, the husband next, and the wife and the kids after. It means that there's some level of communication that takes place and some level of respect that has to take place. Now, when a woman comes home, it is not her responsibility to take over that strong role of what the husband would do. The husband will deal with certain things, but what the man wants when he comes home, his peace. He wants to feel as if he's wanting to come home to a place where he feels loved, valued, and respected. If he's coming home to a woman who is as assertive as him, he's going to get that energy like he's fighting outside with the world. He's in board meeting fighting. He's been assertive in board meetings, and he's coming home and having to fight with his own wife. It's like a double work for you.
Okay,
When you come
Michael, before we
home
go
and you
home,
Hold
have
on, Charlie. Let
when you
him
come
finish.
home and you have something, you have your dinner prepared, or you have a nice, you should do something nice for you, and you get that feminine touch to things. You feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more, like your wife is catering to your needs. But a lot of times women want a man to take care of their needs, but in return they don't remember to take care of the man need, take care of his mental health. How can I help him to be even
Mhm,
better for us,
mhm.
the family? So
Lovely.
it's a team
Thank you,
effort.
Mike. Thank
okay,
you so much. I appreciate it. Chime in, Carlene, and then
no,
look here. I have to give you both equal opportunities to talk. So just bear with me if I interject, and then we're going
okay,
to
so
go back to
Michael,
the comments.
yes, so Michael, before you get to the house, before you get to the marriage, before you get into him coming home from the boardroom,
Yeah.
come back. Let's step out of that a little bit. Let's start the meeting phase and the greeting and the talking and building and the courting. Let's
Yes.
start there. before we get into, because once you get into a marriage, there's a different thing. Yes, you might find that if you're in a marriage and a situation is not working out, then you guys go and get help. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with getting help. But let's start first with the single woman going about her business, doing life, and the single man going about his business, doing life.
Yeah.
Now, how the two are going to get together? How are you going to find this woman? Oftentimes you say the women do not show their feminine self, but if she didn't show her feminine self in the first place, how you were going to get her? How you were going to
Mm.
be attractive to her? Unless you like men, then, because you're saying the women don't show their feminine self when they're home and stuff, but she had to have shown her feminine self for you to fall in love with her and marry her. So let's, before we jump the gun and run home and being in the home and talking about the home life, let's talk about dating. Let's talk about the single woman doing her thing and the single man doing their thing.
Lovely. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. 1 minute. Let's go to the comments. Let's go all the way up. I think I missed some, so put them up from the top, honey, and then we'll move forward. There's something about femininity that was said.
Yes, this is
You saw
important.
it? There's something about femininity with men.
Yeah.
Yes, here you go. Yolanda says, how about if a man puts off femininity in himself? Because a lot of the rhetoric I'm hearing on social media and other places, it's about the women taking on the masculine energy. And Carlin shed some light on that. Sometimes it's childhood, is them being let down by men, father figures, and they have to just put on that kind of robust personality. But you have some men who think they're men, but femininity is oozing out of them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to be men. And so when they encounter a woman who knows who she is, Helen Powderhouse, you have to listen to yourself so I can feel like who I am. Let's continue. Let's continue with the comments, please. Want to get all the comments in because the comments part sweet, guys. Someone says, Michael, these men are attracted to
To
those
those
kind
women,
of women and sometimes hope they can
they can
change them.
change it.
I
There you
want to
go.
pause here. I
Yeah.
want to pause here. Olden days, past days, in my days, growing up and still growing, a lot of men would say, I want a woman I can build life with. Nowadays, younger generation, and I'm not speaking for everybody in the younger generation, they don't want women they can build life with. They want women who are self-made women. So they want the woman with a house and the car and all of that, but they don't want the strong personality that comes with it. How can we find the balance? I want you to think about it. Let's go to the comments. Think about that question. I want the assets, but I don't want the personality. Yolanda, I agree, Michael, but what if people portray certain image than then what do you do? So it's kind of like a pretense. So the comments are coming in. Sister Paulette say, amen, my brother. Hi, Sister P. Shamika say, I understand what my Shamika is in your corner, Michael. Let's continue. Shamika said, this sweet, bad, bad, bad. Let's go on with the next comment. Samantha said, I agree with you. We'll continue with the next comment. Yolanda is asking, how about you cater to all their needs and it still doesn't add up to your needs as a wife? Things to consider.
Mhm.
Let's go back to the question. Why is it that certain men want women who have all the things, but they cannot match up to the personality? What happened with that?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's very important. That's very important. I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for because everybody have different types. Like some men like strong women, some men like submissive women, some men, don't mind. So it's just dependent on the person and who he goes for. But oftentimes, for me, what I'm experiencing is that some women want to take over the role of the man, meaning they want to date you. They want to carry you to the places. They want to dictate when you should date them. They want to dictate when you should get married to them. They want to dictate all of these things and don't give you that opportunity to make that decision to say, this is a person I want to be around. This is a person I want to get married to. This is a person I'm going to introduce my family. This is a person I'm going to date. Like in the dating phase, I think the man should be allowed to be the person to find that woman who he likes, pursue her, and she has the choice whether she would like to pursue him too. Like it goes both ways. But I don't like the fact where woman is trying to dethrone the man and take over his crown, meaning you want to be so okay. So if you want to be a superwoman, a powerful woman, and you want to be an assertive woman, it means you don't need a man. You
Mm.
don't need a man. You can be by yourself. Because if you need a man, he's coming with those attributes as a man, with that assertiveness. He's coming with certain leadership roles. Not all men, but he should be coming with leadership role to support you. So you taking on that role for him, you can do it by yourself. So you don't need him. So what
Mm.
purpose would you need him for? Just is it just sex? You need a man for just sex and that's it? Or would you
Mm.
need that support system who's going to be there as a protector to protect his family, to take care of his family, whether you're powerful or not? You're understanding that whatever he brings in, he's still supporting the family, while whatever you have, you can always do whatever you want to do with it. But you're respecting him as a husband for what he brings in, or as a dating person. Let's say we'll go back to the dating. You're respecting that person where he's at, and he's respecting you where you're at. But at first you have to look at, am I compatible with this person? Because oftentimes we try to force ourselves to
Yeah.
thinking we can change the person. So if I see you as what you are, why am I going to change you and say, okay, when I get into a long-term relationship with you, I can change you to
Yeah.
become better. I can change the way you dress, I can change the way you look, I can change this image about you to make it fit for me. But why is it not? And that's where the problem comes in, because I am going to try to change you, Carlene, but at the end of the day, I should have accepted you from the get-go for who you are. So if
Yeah.
you see me as a man and you see that I'm an assertive man, I'm looking for a submissive woman, a woman that understands me. You communicate. I'm not trying to put you down, but I'm trying to say, hey, I be the assertive one. I'll
Yes.
be the one to
I'm going to
protect
chime. I'm
you.
going to chime in, Michael. I think my issue, and I do understand what you're saying, because there are some women out there who want to be the man in the relationship, and
Mhm.
they do not give the man the scope to lead. But I think my issue is when it is said, allow the man. I shouldn't have to allow him. He should naturally be the leader of the family. He should naturally be the visionary. I should not have to shrink to make him feel as if he's the man, right? Let's go to the comments, because Carlene, I see that you want to talk. I want us to think about these last two questions. And we're going to go to the comments, but I'm going to pose the question. Is the independent mindset of a woman a protection? Is it a protective mechanism? We're
Mm.
going to come back to the question. Let's go to some of the comments. Shamika, I see it dying with laughter. Suzanne is agreeing with me. Suzanne said that part about wanting the assets, but not the personality. So an asset could be physical asset, sexy, look really nice, bless the Lord, curves in all the right places, but you cannot manage the personality. Asset meaning all the financial asset. Hey, she must have been assertive and determined and independent to get all of those assets that she has. Davian has joined the conversation. Michael, while you were talking, he said so true. So I think he's agreeing with you. Shamika says yes, because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. All right, let's continue. We don't have to all right. So Melissa says, I understand you, Mike. However, let's not forget that women are sometimes placed in a position to take the man's crown, because some men think that all they need to do is to provide the finances. Whoa, that's a word right there. That's a word right there. Yolanda continues. But what if they're not used to a strong woman? They're used to weak women that depends on the man, when I am a woman that can help this marriage and build us up as we are. These are things to consider. Are women using the independent mindset and the independent lingua and language as a protective mechanism? We'll come back to Samantha Henry's comment. Michael, Carly, is
So
it a
if
protective mechanism?
I believe that women sends out signal to test the waters to see how capable a man is. I know I do that oftentimes just to see what triggers the person or how he would react to certain situation. Um, Sometimes being in control, um, having the last say is a coping mechanism. Again, going back to childhood days. And oftentimes women may portray that. And earlier when Michael was talking, I'm just wondering to myself, where under God's heaven is Michael meeting these women that are so tough and rough that they're not showing their feminine self?
And
And
maybe he's not 1 minute, Carly. Maybe he's not specifically talking about his
I'm not
personal
talking about my person.
experiences, right? But generally speaking,
Yeah.
yes.
oh,
I'll take care of you, Michael.
No,
I
for
hate
me, I look
generalization.
first. I know what I want. I look and then I make my decisions. I don't let that catch me, no.
Yeah.
Michael, I hate generalization.
Okay,
I look
all
at
right.
myself. Well, about a couple years ago, I was dating someone, and I knew this person for 29 years. And so when we decided to start dating and to give it a shot into marriage, I was excited because I knew him. But then coming into the relationship, the person started telling me, okay, well, I don't like women who wears makeup. I don't like women who wears jewelry. I don't like women who do this. And I'm like, brother, where you come from? I'm like, you know me for 20 odd years, and this is who you know. And you're coming to tell me that you don't like half the stuff that I do. So what is it you like? And I'm like, why is it that a man cannot accept a woman the way she is? If you have a woman who is a God-fearing woman, a hard-working woman, a woman who would lift you up, stand by your side, be your supporter, pray over you, be there for you, why you need to come in the relationship to try to change her?
Wow, that's powerful.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
sent him packing. I said, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change for you.
There you go. You're right. And that's where it comes down to a man have to look at what is it that he wants and from the get-go. And a woman should see what is it that she wants in her man from the get-go. And it
Yeah.
comes through courting, it comes through dating and understanding what each person brings to the table and to see if it's something that you both can work with.
Yeah, because I found too, thank you, Michael, thank you, Carleen, that when women shrink themselves to
Yes.
accommodate weak men, eventually those women lose themselves.
And
But
become
notice the terms
resentful of
though.
the other person.
But
Yes.
notice the terms you use though. And a lot of ladies I see in the comments been using it. Then the terms are weak. The terms are belittled. But why are those terms being used when you compare a man with a woman?
What you mean?
If we go back to the Bible though, a woman being submissive is not a weakness. That's her strength. Because if you're going to communicate with a man on the same level in an assertive way, it's going to create more fiction. And a more submissive woman respects her husband, and they come our boy our fiance, but they communicate together. What I'm trying to get across is it's two persons in together as one. And he said when you get married, you become one. So
Yes.
if you're courting, you're working to become one. So it means that both persons should be on the same level.
Yeah, the
Nobody
same
should be
page.
higher than anybody.
Mhm.
Yes.
Everybody should be in that same level. And so I'm trying to say at no point a woman should feel weak because a man decided he's going to lead or a man decided he's making the final decision. A woman should never feel as if she's weak because of that. Because at the end of the day, the leadership role and leadership cycle is God, the man, and the woman. At the end of the day, the man can make a final decision and the wife supports the decision, or his girlfriend supports the decision. If you really want to get married to this man, you have to show those qualities of a wife before. If you're not showing me that wifely qualities, what basis am I going to make a decision to
I
say
have a,
I'm going to
I have a
marry them?
question for you.
I
I
have
have
a
a question
question
for
for
you,
him too.
Michael. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I have a
I have
question
a
for him
question.
too.
I have a question. I have a question.
What time is it now? We're going to come.
I know. Give it 2 more minutes because I know you told me you could only be here for an hour.
Yeah.
Is it okay if a woman is assertive?
It is okay for a woman to be assertive if she knows how to bring her point across without coming off disrespectful.
All right, perfect. My next question is it okay for a man to be assertive?
100%.
You
I,
notice your question? Hold
But
on. You
also
notice the
respectful.
response? You notice
yes,
that response?
yes,
That's what I was. And women, yes, you can be if you
yes.
adhere to certain. Men,
Right.
yes, argument finished.
Because the
Yes.
role of
So
a
it's
man, he
like
is
he
a
has to make
protector.
the final say.
A man is a protector. He is a protector. So if he's a protector, he has to be an assertive man. He has to be an assured man, a man who is going out there to get what he
Yes,
needs for his family. A woman
yes.
don't need to take on that responsibility. She wants to take it on because she wants to be single for the rest of her
No,
life.
no,
But
no, no,
I'm not
no.
going to
I
take up
don't
a
want to take
woman.
it
Hold on,
on.
I'm
No,
not
no,
going to
no.
take up a
I
woman
do not
who is
want to
going to
take it
play
on.
my role and dictate to me what I should be doing and it's not going to work. I am going to
Mm,
look for a woman that's going to understand my role as the provider.
yes,
She's going to be my cheerleader. She's going to be my supporter. She's going to be my burden bearer in terms of, let's say I am a laid back person, she's more a detailed person. I say, honey, this is or my girlfriend, this is the dream, this is the vision that I bring here. And she's going to turn that vision that I have in my head here and put it on paper and put it together and say, this is what we're going to do together. So it's about teamwork.
Okay, so
Teamwork.
Michael, what about the woman's vision, dream, passion, and desire?
That's where it go wrong because a woman was made to support the man and the vision that God has bring for him. It's right
I
here, and
am
I go
done.
with
I
this.
am done.
hold
Michael, go
on,
back and read
hold
Proverbs
on,
31. Read Proverbs 31 as the
No, a
virtuous
hold
woman.
woman
You're
on,
was
talking about your Bible?
a woman was brought here to help the man
Hold on.
initially. A
hold on,
woman was
hold on,
brought
hold
here
on.
to help the
No, no,
man,
Michael,
no.
and the
Michael
man,
and Carly, I
Michael,
the
can't wait till you
man.
find you back on the podcast because you misbehaved. Hold on. Let's get some perspective here. We're almost,
mhm,
this conversation is too heated. I can't manage it. So the woman was made to support. I agree that the man is the head of the house and he should have the vision for the family if he's connected to God.
Yes.
amen.
If I think that is the disclaimer there. If he's connected to God, God communicates the vision of the family, and the
Mm.
woman is there to support the man. But I also believe that every single woman also has a purpose.
Yes,
So
A
and this is
yes,
purpose
what
that
they
Michael
have
allows
a
them.
failed to
purpose.
Hello, I did
understand.
not.
But what
Hello,
is that
hello, hello.
purpose? What
Students,
is that
students.
purpose? That's important.
No,
What is that
whatever
purpose?
the purpose, Michael, whatever the purpose is,
No, no, no.
every single
Initially,
woman. Michael, allow me to finish now, sir.
Yeah.
Michael, wait a minute. My husband is in the bedroom saying, because he's doing the engineering, oh no, I gang up on the man, so he's
No,
supporting.
we're not. No, we're not. But women
I
have
think
dreams too.
it's balance. I think it's a partnership, and Michael said it earlier as well. It is a partnership where everybody has been given a unique purpose by God. And so if the woman has a purpose that God has given her, the man is to help her fulfill that purpose.
Exactly.
He's supposed to be He's supposed to be supporting her as well, and vice versa. The woman is supposed to be supporting the man.
It's a
I think
partnership.
I
it is
think
a
it goes back
partnership.
historically
Mhm.
where a lot of men believe that women are empty headed and so you should only be a supportive role. That is your role. Whatever I
Mm-mm.
say, you support. But the woman has strengths too, and she has insight, and she has what you call that thing that we have, intuition and all that stuff. Listen,
Yes.
let's close
Yeah.
up because this is too heated. Michael,
Yes.
do women, would you marry an independent woman?
I definitely would. I
Yes.
definitely would.
All
But
right. Perfect.
I would look for I definitely look for qualities. I look for qualities. As I said, I'm an assertive person. I'm not looking for a woman that we're gonna be toe to toe and having
Yeah.
arguments. I'm
Yeah.
not that type. So I'm
Yeah.
more looking, and I work with what God has ordained. I work with what initially He wants. He said that He never made Adam by himself. He said, "I'm going to give you a helper." He created the woman from the rib of Adam so that he could have gotten an helper to support his purpose on earth. And that is
Mhm.
why a woman was designed to help that man with the purpose to which God has given to him. And that is why he gave that woman here, woman is really the help to that vision, to that mission, to that oneness that God wants. But a lot
Mhm.
of times society is changing it, just as how the devil himself wants to change things that God ordains to put it in his perspective, and then it becomes right. So the things of God does no longer value, or it doesn't have any credibility to it, because what society is showcasing is no longer what the Bible is saying. It's contradicting it. So a lot of
Understood.
ladies you find not working because a lot of ladies say, okay, I want a godly man to date. But are you a godly woman? Are you reading the words to say when a woman is supposed to respect her man? A woman is supposed to understand that she's really taking care of her domain. She's controlling that environment for her family and her husband to make sure it is welcoming, it is godly. It is centered on different principles comparing to what God
Understood.
said. So are
Understood.
we going
Thank you.
to where that
Thank,
is?
thank you, Michael. Let's go, Carleen. Last viewer. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
I forget the question. What was the question?
You know, I want to pause here. Let's get some comments in, and then you're going to give your last 2 cents. Samantha says, attracted to the woman. Oh, so she's saying sometimes the men are attracted to the women, and then they want to change them, which is true. Yolanda
Yes,
says,
because you're thinking
but
you can probably
Michael,
fix the vibe.
allow me to go through the comments, sir, please. Thank you so much. Yolanda says, but how could you be submissive to someone that is not true to themselves or to the marriage? Then what should you do as a wife or as a woman? That is something that we have to ponder. And I think we're going to have Michael, and I think I have to bring you back, because you're hotting up the place.
Yeah, and probably need some help to mold him
I
because
need
Hold
um
on, let's go to the comments. Hold on. The people in the comments have been
help
waiting
to
a whole
mold him.
long time.
This is my help
Yolanda
right
says
here. This
there
right here
are
is my help.
Yolanda says there are people that portray this vision that they are not. Absolutely. Shamika says if he is connected to God, true. Some men want to lead women when they are not being led by God. I said what
ah,
I
Yeah.
said.
Yes.
Shamika, this man is not supposed to go against what the man is not supposed to go against what God placed on the inside of the woman. Some men believe that I rule and whatever
mhm.
I say goes, but what does God say? Because if you're not being led by him, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Let us continue. Davian
Yeah.
says, amen. We're in church. Hallelujah. All right. So this is a heated conversation. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy. My last 2 cents on this as we close off. Independent women, blessing or are they curse? When a lot of men, and I hear it in Michael as well, and heard it other places, when men talk about, oh, I should lead and you should be submissive and you should not allow, I don't want any masculine energy, and that's true. Many times they leave off this part. In men being the head of the family, just as how Christ is the head of the church, are you willing to sacrifice for your spouse? It's not just about the leading, but it's about the sacrificial nature. And many men are not prepared to do that. Let's
Amen.
close off in 30 seconds. Carleen, go first in 30 seconds. Independent women, are we blessing or curse?
It, being an independent woman, I believe we're a blessing because we're coming with our glass half full to help the man, to be the helpmeet. Women have desires, we have passions, we have dreams, we have thoughts of changing the world and doing things just like the man. And as much as the men want the support from the women need the support from the man.
Perfect. Love it. Good. Lovely. Michael, independent woman, blessing or curse?
An independent woman can be a blessing if both people work together to achieve the goal to which God has ordained for it to be. So I believe that the man should make the decision when he's dating to date that woman that will support his destiny and his vision. And the woman supposed to I suggest that she date that man who can lead her. She believes he can lead and she believes she can support that vision to which God has given him. That's
Love,
my belief.
love it, Michael. Oh God, both of you are a good combination. But to give me challenge today
Mm-mm.
because audience, ladies, independent women, blessing or curse. Put your votes in. I couldn't even do fix your crown today. I couldn't even do truth versus feelings today. I couldn't do any of those segments because it was so hard. Suzanne said, independent women are blessing. Shamika said, preach pop side. Word. Sam says, word. She said, we need a part four. Independent women, blessing or curse. Let us know. We're going to close off, but before we do, please, my darling husband engineer, could you share with us how you can be a part of the Women Healing Together community of women? Here are our social media handles. Lovely. How was it? How was the conversation? Did you guys enjoy it?
It was wonderful.
It
I
is.
enjoy Carlene. Carlene has a lot to say. I enjoy
Yes,
that.
Michael, you take over the fort. And I can't. I give up on you now. I totally did. Because you're very old-fashioned type of man. Old-fashioned type, yes. I had.
Listen, the important thing I believe is that we all know what we want and we see what we want. And so when we're choosing, we know exactly what it is. As we were in church yesterday, we were having a discussion. A very wise gentleman, Michael Park, he said, why are you trying to change a woman in marriage?
Yeah.
He said it yesterday. He said, why are you trying to change her? What you see is what you get. You know what you want. You get what you see. So it's either you're
Mhm.
going to choose it or you're going to leave
Yeah.
it alone. And
Exactly.
I agree
Yeah.
100%. This is Women Healing Together, the space and place where we deal with all things women. And remember, we're here for Talk Truth, the last Sunday of each month. For August, we're not going to be here the last Sunday. We're going to be here the third Sunday. So that's going to be the 20th of August. Don't miss it when we have another exciting conversation. Remember, we heal so much better when we heal together. And don't forget to share the link because there were many of you who are not here live. So those of us who are here live, share the link all over. I need to see it all over your socials. And please tag me when you do. Bring back Michael and Carlene on stage as we say goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.